Bonsoir.
Good evening. We will start this conference with Luis Enrique. Your questions in French or German, please. How do you feel after qualifying for the final? Good evening. Well, I think it's clear we have to enjoy the moment. It was a high-level game. Both teams played well, we defended well, and we started the game very positively. We created chances in the first minutes after we scored the goal. And then when you play this type of game, it's difficult. Bayern was attacking constantly. It was difficult for us. We're not used to having to defend this way. But as usual, we showed what kind of team we are, what kind of players we have. And it's incredible. This is the second Champions League final in a row. This shows the level of the team, of the players, the fans, the club. We're very satisfied. You managed several clubs so far. Is this the strongest squad you ever had? That's difficult to say, but during these last 3 years, the strongest team, the team that was the most similar to us, was them. Well, it was difficult. They have a lot of great players, and they have a playing style that is difficult to handle, difficult to defend against. What we showed today shows what kind of team we are, and I want to remind you that we haven't put on the same team, the same starting 11 as for last year's final on the pitch. This year was quite special with all the injuries that we had. This can be a difficult situation to handle, but it really shows what kind of team we are. It shows what kind of players we have. Good evening, Coach. Yesterday, you said that the game was going to be different compared to the first leg. I think that Bayern was nervous. Is it a victory due to morale? Because it seemed like your team was very calm. Yes, these things are very important to note. We showed these last 3 years that we are ready to play against any opponent. We talked about this quite a lot. To be overexcited is not a good thing. We tried to be at 100%. You can't have a player who's not at 100%, but to be above is dangerous as well. What we saw during the whole game was important for us. Clearly, we saw it was great to see players with this kind of mentality. You said it again and again for weeks. Do you think that you can win the second title back to back? Yes. Do you remember what I told you after the group stage? Do you remember? What did I say? That I don't see any team being better than we are. There were a lot of critics. Everybody said that PSG maybe wasn't that great. But I was right. And I can appreciate that Bayern is at our level, and I think Arsenal is also one of the best teams this season. What they did all season long is incredible. They're still playing in the Premier League. They're in the final. This is something that you have to point out. But I believe in my team, and I think it's important to underline that. Good evening. Last season there was a lot of talk about the youth of this team, how young they are. When you look at how players like Warren and Zaire Emery and Désiré Doué, Joao Neves, how they played tonight, you feel that they matured. Do you feel as if your team this year, 1 year later, is even stronger than last season? It's quite difficult to say. Maybe this is a question that journalists have to answer. What I can say, and what I think that the fans think, is that it's a team that you can count on, that are always fighting. They sometimes play better or worse, but today we showed that when we have to defend with a low block, then there were many moments during the game where we had to do it and we can do it. We don't like to do it. We don't select our teams, our players to defend in a low block, but we are able to do it. And yes, we prepared well for this challenge, and this is crucial. And this is similar to how our fans are, how our Parisians are. We like to play good football, beautiful football, but we also like to fight, and we like to win fights. Last question. First, congratulations for going through to the final. You always say that your team can always improve, even when it's difficult. You can adapt, but are there still things that the team can improve on? Well, of course, when I will analyze the game, I will see things that we can still improve on, but we improved our defense by a lot. When you allow too many 1v1 situations against players of this level, then you will have problems, but our defense was quite strong. We won more duels than in the first game, and we maintained our level in the offense as well, because if you only think about defense, then you won't qualify for the final. We started this game very well. We scored this goal, and it allowed us to play more calmly.